So I feel like in 2026, we're constantly being told we have to pick a side, whether it's politics, I don't know, fitness, or just about anything else. Everything seems to have one extreme or the other. But since this is a finance channel, I want to talk about the two financial extremes that I see all the time. On one side, I'm going to call this the boomer Dave Ramsey camp. You've got people saying that you should save every dollar. You should skip all those vacations that you want to do. Oh, you can't buy that $5 coffee every morning. You got to invest everything, pay off that debt, all this so that you can retire early. On the other side, you have what I'm going to call the hippie surfer bros. Those people are telling you, life's too short, man. Spend the money. You could die tomorrow. If you spend enough time online, it's going to start to feel like you have to choose one of these camps. Well, you stumbled in the right place with this video because your boy sits right in the middle of these two. I'm not choosing one of these sides. I don't think either extreme is going to be the right answer here. And I think if you're constantly sacrificing today for some perfect future that may or may not happen, for all we know, you could get smoked tomorrow. You're probably going to end up miserable if you live this way. But let's say you only live for today. You can make your life a lot harder for your future self and be playing on veteran difficulty and maybe even end up working well into your 70s just to pay the bills. Delayed gratification is not about never enjoying your life. I think it's about knowing what deserves money today and what deserves your patience. And I'm going to show you what that looks like from the perspective of a 27-year-old electrical engineer who's been trying to balance both. And as most of y'all know already, over the last few years, I've been working towards financial independence by saving and investing a large portion of my income because I value the freedom that that can create for me later in my life. But I also, on the same hand, travel. I love spending money on my favorite hobbies. I enjoy golf. I enjoy camping weekend trips. I enjoy eating really good food. And I certainly don't feel guilty buying things that improve the quality of my life. I want to show you how to build a delayed gratification mindset without feeling like you're constantly depriving yourself. I want to walk you through why this mindset, to me, is so powerful and why it's become difficult in a world that is built around instant gratification, and how you can build wealth while still enjoying the life that you're going to live today. So I'm going to jump right into it here. First things first, I think the biggest misconception that people have about delayed gratification is that they think it means saying no to everything. At least that's the first thing that pops into my mind. It's like I imagine somebody having to drive a 1998 Toyota Corolla with like 200,000 miles on it. I think of, people never taking vacation. Like I already mentioned that earlier. People never buying anything fun. That sounds terrible, bro. That does not sound like any sort of freedom to me. That sounds like a miserable life. And honestly, if that's what delayed gratification meant, I wouldn't want any part of it either. But to me, delayed gratification is not about depriving yourself. It's about being careful with my decisions. The trick is to make sure that you're spending most of your discretionary spending money on things that actually improve your life, and then still prioritizing investing. And I'm going to give you some examples here. These examples, hopefully, will help you guys paint a better picture of what this might look like. Again, from somebody working a 9 to 5 job. Let me give you a real example just from last week. I went golfing in the morning, and then I spent the afternoon at the shooting range. That was a pretty awesome weekend that I would totally recommend. Then during the week, I meal prepped to save money instead of going to eat out, and I contributed the last bit of cash needed to max out my Roth IRA for the year. I even bought a new backpack for some backpacking trip coming up that my fiancée and I have planned. And next week, I'm going to be putting more money into our wedding sinking fund. That is what balance looks like to me. I took care of my investing, and I spent my discretionary spending on things that I really enjoyed. I'm spending money on experiences and hobbies that are making my life better while I am still having steady progress towards my financial goals. Those two things don't have to compete with each other. You don't have to live at either extreme, and do not fall for the rage bait or the people online telling you that you have to live this way. Now, could you go all in on saving every dollar if you wanted to reach financial freedom quicker? Absolutely, go for it. And there may even be seasons of life where that makes sense for you. But listen here when I tell you that it is not a requirement for building wealth. It all comes down to how quickly you want to get there and what you're willing to trade to make that happen. So, personally, I'd rather take the steady climb up the mountain. I don't want to sacrifice every enjoyable part of my life today chasing a future that is not guaranteed for me. And I probably sound like such a broken record here, but guys, this video is important. There's a lot of people out there that don't understand the concept of delayed gratification and how to implement it into their own lives. Now, I want to do kind of a natural transition into the next big point that I want to cover in this discussion. And I want to talk about why I feel like people struggle so much with delayed gratification today and why it seems like it's the hardest thing in the world. Well, I think maybe the biggest reason people are struggling with this mindset today, I don't necessarily think it's because they're lazy or they don't have enough discipline. That may be for some people, but I feel like for the majority of people, it really comes down to having to navigate a world where everything around us is always competing for our attention, our time, and our money. Go pick up your phone right now and see how much screen time you averaged every day per week. Go see how many times you settled and ate fast food this week instead of meal prepping. Everything around us is going to be designed to get us hooked. That's not like a bad thing. It's just like these are how these companies are engineering the world around us. Don't take this like I'm talking like a perfect saint here because I don't think these things are always awful. I ain't nowhere near perfect in this, but I'm just looking around today and putting two and two together as to why it's so hard for some people to get ahead and have a delayed gratification mindset when all we're getting is diverted left and diverted right. If you're not intentional about how to balance everything around us in society, and you're not intentional about just not taking everything that is instantly gratifying you, it's going to be easy to wake up one day wondering where all your money's going, where all your time and energy went, and why you haven't made progress on the things that you actually want to do in life. That is why I've just been harping so much on this video that I think delayed gratification is one of the most valuable skills to have today. And it's going to be even more valuable once you learn how to balance it in our complicated and busy lives. Take this YouTube channel, for example. From the outside, people see this video pop up on their feed, but they don't see the hours spent planning ideas, the hours spent filming, editing, thinking of good thumbnails, learning how to get better every single week. Because if I don't learn to improve my delivery or learn how to improve my communication, then y'all are eventually just going to stop watching my videos. Most creators aren't going to become successful after uploading 10 videos. Most creators are going to have to keep showing up because they enjoy the process and they believe the results will eventually come. And I also think, that mindset is true for almost everything worthwhile in life. Whether it's going to be your career, could be investing, could be your fitness journey, relationships, building a business. The biggest rewards are going to belong to those people that are willing to stay consistent long before anyone else notices the progress. I also don't have to go 100% every single day. I think that's where a lot of people will burn themselves out. There's going to be some nights after work where I'll spend a few hours working on YouTube. There's going to be other nights where I'm going to go want to lift weights, maybe go for a walk around the neighborhood with my fiance. And there's definitely going to be days where I just want to relax and recharge. Maybe get that good 8 hours of sleep. Then on the weekends, when they roll around, I'm going to have more free time. And maybe then I'll batch film some YouTube videos or get caught up on my editing. David Goggins is awesome. Who's going to carry the boats? But I am not built like that man. I don't think the majority of us are either, but if you are, props to you. What I love is being able to build a routine that I can stick with for years. I don't judge my progress based on what I accomplished on some random Tuesday night. I'm going to look at where I was 6 months ago, like at the start of this year, to where I am today. And that's usually where, I can start to see how much all these small decisions I've made over the year add up in my favor. So at the end of the day, guys, I don't really think delayed gratification is all necessarily about money. I think it's going to be about becoming the kind of person who's going to keep promises to yourself. If you tell yourself that you're going to save money, go save money. If you tell yourself that you're going to go to the gym, just go. If you tell yourself that you're going to start learning a new skill, building a side hustle, whatever it is, you need to show up when nobody's watching. Become someone who can enjoy today while still building a future that you're going to be proud of. So that's all I have for this video. Leave a comment down below and let the community know how you are implementing balance into your life while also still prioritizing your financial future. I told you about my stuff, but I'd love to hear about yours. My next video is going to be back to my engineering focused videos, so I just wanted to switch it up a little bit for you guys. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.